started. So we'll start with, we already gave out the horizons, and we gave out, what, horizons? No, wait, what was that? Hope and horizon, okay. So we did that already, and we took some pictures with the committee, so very, very good. You're going to be seeing them on Facebook.
Poetry committee.
The poetry committee, yes. So we're going to start with who's new, what's new, anything new? I got something new. Okay, go ahead.
I finally got my book out. I've been coming here for a year. So I'm really excited about it. It's called The Hippocratic Deception. It's a medical legal thriller. I was very excited to get the designer that does James Patterson did my cover.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, that's amazing. And what else? And it's already been selected to be with a couple of book groups locally to be their book of the month for February. And I guess that's it. But
Branching out. Congratulations. That's great. Anybody else?
And your name, please?
Susan Wahlberg.
Susan, thank you.
Susan Wahlberg, yes. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Turn around, honey. Go ahead.
You're going to make me dizzy here.
Hi, I'm Regina Curie, and my book's been out since March. It's called Heels Down Hall, Adventures of a Working Student, set in England in the 60s. But in September, late September, I was very lucky to be able to go to England, and I tried to line up a book tour before I went there. Harder than you might think or might not think. But I did actually get 2 book signings, and believe it or not, they were both at pubs. The pubs in England are looking for things to do, bring people in.
Yes.
So they were both quite successful. I got a little bit, I should have brought the articles, I forgot about it. I got 2 articles out of that while I was in England, and while I was there, my paperback went up to number 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been number 1 5 times, to best release here and in the UK.
If you could take copies, pictures or whatever, and send them to Dad, we'll post it on.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have like,
If I scan the articles?
if you
or-
scan them, yeah,
Okay, I'll scan them.
and I'll put them on the website for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Cynthia. Can you sign in? Jen?
I'm not the MC of the meeting. You can't get permission from me.
2 things. I'm doing my class again on writing fiction. The last class ended in November, and it was fantastic. We had 12 people that were really great, excited about writing. I hated to see it end.
That's awesome.
But this class starts January 10th at 10 in the morning. It's going to be every Tuesday for 8 weeks. It's with the saleofmelbourne.org organization, so you can go to that site, saleofmelbourne.org. You can sign up.
S-A-L-E?
Yeah, S-A-I-L.
S-A-I.
And it's going to be at the Ascension Catholic Church on North Harbor Boulevard. So if you know, I mean, you guys know, but if you've got any friends that are interested in, learning how to write or novice writing, they'll have a great time and they'll learn a lot. So, and it's a couple of bucks. I don't get paid, but they
Send me
yeah.
send me an
I will,
announcement. Yep.
So who's running it? Like, is it the city of Melbourne?
No, it's an organization called SAIL, and it means Senior Adventure and Learning.
Oh,
So I think you have to be 55 and older. And don't quote me, but like for $30 you can take all their classes.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people do that. They take all kinds of classes. But I've been doing it for like 8 years, 3 times a year. And I am having a blast because it's just so much fun. If you get the right group, it's amazing. And then right after that, we started another class. So this group was so good, we're going to have a critique group as a class. And they're going to bring in their stuff for 8 weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's one thing. I got my books here. If you're interested, they're all $10, except the big fat one, which is $15. And then I have a couple, these are old covers, so they're $5 each until they're gone.
So can the members of the guild, can they submit like for the critique?
No, they have to take my class.
They have to take the class.
Yeah, you have to take the class,
Be done.
then you can be in the critique.
Because that we're always, there's a few critique groups that are branched off the
Yeah.
guild, but I just like to to, you know,
Right,
do that
yeah.
more.
Yeah, no, this
Because
is.
my next one, I'm gonna do some basic, because I wanna just, you know, I always wanna improve my writing.
Nothing less than here.
All right, so now we're gonna do giveaways. Oh, you have something sorry,
Yeah.
Ken. Go ahead.
Just wanted to let everybody know, free Christmas gift, my first book, Braddock's Gold. Today, tomorrow, and Monday is a free gift for you. Just go download it at Amazon. It's an ebook, Kindle type deal. So it's there, free. If you need more information, like the spelling of my name or the book, come ask me for a card and I'll give you one like this. All right?
Light free.
Also, Scribblers is just an Amazon release for their 2022 Christmas book, which is the mini sagas, and so it's available at Amazon.
What's the name of the book?
So, Christmas, I think Christmas 2022, right?
Christmas 2022. Okay, very good. All right. One thing that maybe a lot of you don't know is that you can actually give your loved ones little certificates for ebooks from Amazon. You can download the book and you can give it like in a stocking stuffer or something like that. You can certainly do that. Okay. They allow you to do that. So that's another little stocking stuffer gift idea if you don't know what to get them. If you don't know what to get your loved ones, come on guys, give them books. Lord, books. I can't say it enough. But anyway, so, all right. So we're gonna do, everybody have a red ticket? All right, so here we go. First one I'm gonna give away. Let's start with, I bought a bunch of Christmas things. So let's start with the first one. Everybody else is so cute. All right, here we go. Stay, good boy. All right. You see, I say that to my dogs all the time. Okay, so the winner obviously has to pick out the next ticket. I'll do the first one. All right, the first one is 8409.
Yes.
370. All right.
I thought the 8 and I thought not me.
Okay, so pick out the next one. Wonderful, thank you. Oh, you put one back. Steady one. All right, there we go. Thank you, and you have yours. Yours. Thank you. Next one. You have this. It's falling apart already. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I bought this little booty thing. There we go. No, we already. Shake your booty. It's a Christmas shake your booty.
Shake it.
All right, very good. So the next winner is 8409. Waiting for stupid comments. Okay. 365. All right, come on, thank you.
But you have to evict the old lady that's living in it.
No, I need you to pick the winner, the next winner.
Oh.
You need to be that blind mute. Thank you. Congratulations. All right. So next one is let's do a nice pretty little Christmas tree. Oh, that's really cute. I love that. Okay. Next winner is 8409 362. All right.
That was a full Nelson.
That's right.
What was that, Jim?
All right. What else do we have? Let's see. I have this salt and pepper shaker. Little penguins. Cute. Public sends the cutest things. Oh my god.
Now, is this a white elephant thing? We're at the end.
No. We don't have time to do that. All right, the next winner is 8409 368. Is that you?
Oops,
All right. It's
it
okay.
dropped.
Can you, oh, I'll go get it. Let me get it.
Not while I'm holding the camera, I can't.
And then film everybody's feet. There we go. All right, so that goes there. And that's that one, and I'd like you to pick the next one, please. Well, once in a while, you gotta show your face, right?
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
All
Hang
right.
on.
I'll put that aside here. All right, there we go. Okay. Let's see what we have for you now. You have another song. Now we got some polar bears.
Polar bears.
There we go.
Move.
It's Klondike and snow.
There we go. And our next winner is 8409 361. All right, come on out. And there you go. Merry Christmas. And if you could please pick out the next winner. Thank you.
You need 3 hands.
I know, right? All right. Okay, let's see what we have here. How about a pretty little Christmas lantern? Told you, man, I was like a child in a toy store today. There we go.
That's why we're late.
That's why he's right. 8409 358. There you go. Merry Christmas.
Thank you,
And
thank you,
then-
thank you.
Pick a winner.
Cuteness.
Cute. I think that's one of those battery operated lights.
Oh, good.
Yeah, those sort of anti-inflammatory. Okay. All right, let me pick a How about a Ferrero Rocher Christmas tree? Now you know why I was late today. There we go. So our Christmas tree goes to 8409 371. All right. I think I put it back in here. Oh, I did not do that yet. There it is. That's right. Thank you. Congratulations. All right. Okay, we got a couple of these cute little white bears with Lindor chocolates. All right, and this winner is 8409 372. All right. You gonna miss Cynthia? Merry Christmas. Yes. All right. Do we have another one?
You can tell people you barely won.
That's right.
Here's the second barely one. Very cute.
You'll have to grin and bear it.
8409 364. All right. Congratulations. And if you can pick the next winner. I think we're going to have something for everybody today. I just have a funny feeling.
And then some. And then some.
Yeah, that's okay. Then something's good. Let's see what else I have in here. Here, starting to get empty. All right. We have the Lindor mixture chocolates and truffles. These are the best. They are the best. And our next winner is 8409 367.
Wow.
Thank you. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Or Happy Hanukkah. Whatever. All right. You're up. All right. Let's see what else we have. This little thing. Snow. Let it snow. Okay. That's what the song says. 8409 8409 3 6, 6. Congratulations. Thank you. Here. Yeah, there's not too many. All right, very good. Next one. Okay, we have Kisses Candy Cane.
Ooh.
Yes. You can just hang that on your tree and let the kids, grandkids at it. Okay. Next winner is 8409 363. All right.
Madam President.
Remove you from the seat.
Gather those little sheeps.
Thank you. All right. Another one.
Oh, another.
Woo. Okay. Our next winner is 8409 369.
And the kisses keep coming.
That's right. Yeah. Two more. Two more. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Yeah. Let me go get the prize first. All right. I have Russell Stover little snowman chocolates. Got a little bit of everything today. Okay. And stay.
Big boy.
8409 359. All right. And then two more. Yep, here. Very good. All right. And we got another Russell Stover's. Pretty much. Okay, let's discuss things here. All right. 8409 360. All right. You don't have to pick this one because you don't want to. There we go. And the last one.
Check for $1,000.
Russell Stover. Looks like chocolate snuff. That's good. Last but not least, winner is 8409 357.
Second number. Take a look at that number.
Oh, that's awesome. This is so much fun. I love it. Okay. Okay, so. I think my computer notes didn't. Okay.
Can you do me a favor and set up the tripod?
Okay,
I think
so
it's in the
we're gonna
green.
do Q&A
In the
today.
green thing.
What makes a good book? I'm going to start with, there's four subjects, 4 topics. One is content, second one is cover, third one is publishing, and the fourth one is marketing, okay? So for the first one, we're going to start with content, and it's divided among plot, dialogue, flow, editing, proofreading, and formatting your book for either Amazon or Ingram Spark, okay? So does anybody have any questions? And whoever's going to, and Dan's going to kind of focus in on whoever would like to give the answer. So.
I would
Yes.
like to comment on that. Sure. So far as the formatting. I asked my middle school students one year what made them want or not want to read a book. And we came up with 39 reasons. When we hit high school, when I hit high school teaching 9th and 10th grade, they came up with 51 reasons.
Wow.
And they have to do with things like size of the font, width of the margins. I mean, it's amazing the things we don't think about, but starts a person or stops a person from starting the reading process. And imagining that if their first couple of book experiences didn't make it, then that was it. If they didn't have books accessible to them. And so that was a fascinating thing. I mean, I could send you that listing and stick it on the website because
Yep.
I think people would be surprised at, what a stupid reason, what a silly reason. It doesn't matter whether it's silly or not. The point is, this student is not going to pick up a book if one of those things that is key to him or her is in that book, in the way that it's formatted and structured. And I mean, you can look at what are called large print books. I mean, that addresses like 2 points, maybe 3, and the size of the font, the space between the lines, and things like that. In other words, it is easier book physically to read. We haven't even gotten to the content yet. We're talking the accessibility of the little scribbles. And so I just think that's something that we typically don't think about. But if you think about your market and who you are expecting to be picking up that book, well, then it is important.
So I guess I should be going to large print then.
And ebooks alleviate that question altogether.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
But I've noticed now, selling in person, I've noticed that there's a few things going on. Number one, for me, cover is very important, and I'm sure Jay can agree with that. Cover is attractive. If you don't have a good cover, they're not even going to look at it. They're just going to pass by and go, "Oh, do you read?" Nah, I don't read. We get a lot of that. But the second thing is that I've noticed is that once they actually approach you and they look at the cover, the second thing for me important is the blurb. I mean, that's another thing. Flip it over, read the blurb. You got to have a good blurb, a real magnet of the blurb. So that's very important too. And the third thing also, some people, they open up and they go, it's really small. Okay, so the big print, I think, is really very important. At this day and age, we should try to at least, instead of using like a 12, like New Times Roman 12, I like to use Garamond myself as a font, but I think we should start switching from 12 to about 14. Now, 2 things are going to happen. Obviously, number one, your book is going to be thicker. Okay, and it's going to be, and when you buy the book from Amazon, you're going to be paying more because there's more pages, it's more weight, so you're going to be paying more. So you're going to have to also price your book to match, what your cost is going to be, obviously with some margin in there. But you'll attract definitely the readers that like to read, and they kind of like shy away when they see this little tiny font. And the spacing between the sentences. I like to use 1.5 spacing, but yeah, even at that point, when you have a large font, a larger font, and 1.5 or 2 spacing double spacing should be sufficient. I think that's what I've noticed from selling my books. So now online, I can't really say because it's a completely different. Again, you have the Kindles or the Nooks, which are the readers for the Barnes and Noble. You can, or even your app on your phone. Your reading app on your phone. You can make the font as big or small as you like. So that's a great advantage to an ebook. But there's a lot of people who don't like ebooks. They don't like them. They want that book. They want to smell the new book and they want the book in their hands. So yeah, just a little. That's why I encourage you to come to these signings that we do. So our next one's going to be, by the way, in January. We're going to go to the Satellite Beach Founders Festival. So you're welcome to come and sell your books there.
Is that going to be on the website so we can?
Yes, he's going to, again, when we came back from, I don't know if it was the jet lag, I don't know, but we didn't really get much done. We just did a lot of sleeping when we got back. And then I just had to go to work, but other than that, we didn't really do much. So he's kind of running a little behind.
So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned covers because let's talk about covers.
Yes, that's the second
So
the second thing that we were doing.
there's a lot of people in this, not here, but in this group, and some of my best friends that do their own covers. And I don't, let's think about this. Okay, you spend a year of your life writing this book and you get it put together. And you don't spend any money You could put it on Amazon for free, and then you chintz out because you can, and you make your own little cover. Why don't you take advantage of graphic artists for $150 at the most?
Yeah.
That knows what they're doing, that's what they do, they do covers day in and day out. And I just can't believe it. When Gene and I were doing all these book talks, we put on one with mystery writers, so I was there, and there were 7 of us. And I went down the line, and I'm like, remember on KDP, you can do the cover creator they have?
Yeah.
And they have, let's say, 12 different styles.
Formats, yeah.
And 8 of them suck.
They do.
So nobody's going to go with that 8. So they all go with the other one. There's only really one good one. So they all go for the one good. And I'm like,
They're all the same.
4 books out of 7 were KDP cover creator. They all looked exactly the same. And how do I know it? Because that's what I used for my first book until I got a little wiser. But I don't understand it. And they make it, and I love Book Brush. And I use Book
Yes,
Brush all the
Book Brush is
time,
great.
for little flyers to put
Yeah.
on the internet to sell my books. I don't really, you could make a cover easy. They even have cover creator.
Yeah,
And it's
they do.
way better than KDP. But no, I want the guy that knows what he's doing.
Yes.
He knows fonts. He knows color. He knows what's selling.
Yeah.
The guy who did my book at West Melbourne, I mean, he published the book, so he knew the content, and he knew the cover.
Yeah.
But when you go to someone like that, what do you give them?
I just did it today. I got the same guy, he's in Germany, he's done all of my books. And he cuts me a deal too. He started out like $65, now he's like 300 and something, but I pay 100 and something. So I give him the back blurb,
Okay.
I give him a couple of pages, but now we work together so long. I just said, I know what, see, normally I don't want to give him any ideas because he's the graphic artist. So I'm like, come up with what you come up with.
You don't want to tell him what to do.
No, I don't.
Because that's his job.
That's his job. And 10 times out of 12, he's come up with some great stuff. Once he's had a little trouble, but we got to figure it out. But I have a vision for this cover. I know what I want it to look like. So I very rarely do I do this, but this morning I said, this is what I'm thinking of. Because I like the idea of what I came up with. So let's see what he does. But normally I don't, because I want him to do it. And there's a lot of people that can't do it. He was out of commission one year, and I had to go to someone else. And it was atrocious what they came up with. It was like, anyway.
Did you switch later?
Oh yeah, he came back. He had a little nervous break.
But I mean, you switched the cover on that.
Yeah. That's why this cover is old.
Oh, these two?
This is the old one that the lady did. Yeah, look at this. Let me good point. Let me just pass these around. Here's the old cover, and then the new cover. And just take a look.
Maybe I get it back.
Yes, Ted.
I've got a question. Let's say you're a brand new spanking person writing, you have no experience whatsoever, you're going to write this book, and because there are almost no more bookstores, you're going to have to sell it on Amazon. What is the most important? I mean, the cover is important, yes, but if you're on Amazon,
The blurb.
the blurb or
Absolutely.
the genre.
Well,
I think it's-
genre is
Look, people are
if you write your book, if you're gonna start writing your book and your book is sci-fi, so there's your genre, right? You're not gonna go on Amazon and change the genre, because it's a sci-fi book, or it's a historical fiction, or it's whatever, it's a romance, or whatever it is, okay?
Basically, it is what it is.
to that genre.
You
Meaning,
either
if there's
write.
only 10 people that want to look at
Correct. You either write to the genre that you think is most popular, or you write your own genre and then just you dive in the pool of all the authors that wrote on your
Okay, so when
genre.
you're in that pool with all those authors, then the cover becomes important.
Correct. The blurb and the cover.
But way before that, it's picking the right.
Correct. I mean, if you have an idea like right now, like, I'm writing a political thriller right now, okay? Which is also kind of like a murder, political murder kind of thing. I don't even know what the genre is, but that's pretty much what I'm writing about.
Mystery.
Yeah, it's mystery, but there's politics in it, so there's a little bit of everything in there. But I don't even know, I haven't picked the genre. But I'm writing the book because I want to write the book, because I have this great idea to write this book, and that's it. So then, after when the time comes, I'm gonna have to, when I finally go on Amazon and I'm gonna have to pick an appropriate genre. Now, I don't know exactly yet what I want, but then it's gonna get thrown into the pool of all those different other kind of like your book, the one you wrote. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like that. So it's gonna be thrown in that pool of all those that write that genre. So, and then the competition is cover, and then it's gonna be the blurb.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
So, I mean,
And keywords.
What I-
It's
what I-
another thing that's
yeah.
very important.
well,
Keywords.
what I find out is the market moves real quick.
Yes, it
I
does.
mean, it's romance and then all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
something else.
But still,
So
romance
color
is the top.
important, but-
Romance is still the top selling
Oh,
genre,
yeah.
hands down. Okay, and the second one is murder mystery.
I mean, that
Like,
brings
it
up a
could be
good point.
cozy, it could be whatever, but murder mystery, pretty much those two are top dogs. So
That brings up a good point. Are you gonna write to the market, or are you gonna write what you wanna write?
Exactly.
I write, I don't care, I write stories I wanna tell.
That's
and
right.
if they sell, they say, I'm not into this, I'm too damn old to do this to make money.
Well,
So I just have fun with it.
correct.
I mean, if shape-shifting unicorns is big, I know that.
Mermaids.
Mermaid, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna write a story about that. And I know it's good, it'll maybe sell it. It's not for me.
Right. Remember Dan, last month, Dan, what did he say? He goes, you have a story to tell it.
Yeah.
Don't keep it in, don't not publish it because it's not the right genre. Tell the
Right.
story, let it out there, because you're giving a gift to other people. So, and if they want to read it, fine. But if you have a gift of writing, he's right, you need to give it to other people.
In fact, he said you have a responsibility to get that, to
Yes.
tell that story.
I agree with that.
There was a discussion, and I'm sorry to take up the time, but.
No, it's okay.
I find this interesting, there was a discussion on the net one time about, I follow this author, he's High Conrad,
Mm-hmm.
and he writes murder mysteries, basically, he wrote a Sidney Sheldon type way back in the 80s. And he got a gig where he was one of the screenwriters for Monk.
Oh.
So they would write all of these stories about
Yeah.
Monk and all. So
Yeah.
after that show was finished, he went back to write again on the murders.
Mhm.
And he said, it's a completely different world from the
course it is.
90s.
Yes.
He said, he's down in Key West now, and he even though he's a very successful writer, he doesn't publish through the publishing net, he goes through Amazon.
Really?
Because he said they don't want, his captive market, people don't want to spend the money for him to go out and do the book signings and pay for the hotels and the transportation and all that. They want him to do that. And so, he's down like in, Fort Myers, and he's down at, Key West, selling his books, going to bookstores,
Yeah.
trying to sell them and sign them. And he said, he goes, I have, you know, I'm a successful writer, and I'm really, really upset.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he can't get back into the motion.
Wow.
Well, also, another reason is for him is because there's a lot of us out there now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of writers out there, a lot of authors who have published, self-published, traditionally published, you know, Ingram Spark, Amazon, you name it. There's a lot of us. There's millions of us out there. So he's probably upset because he's got more competition.
Yeah.
And like I tell a lot of people when they pass by our little stand, what do I tell people, Jay? We write better than the big guys. I think we do. I think we do. Because I've read stories from indie authors that are amazing stories. And don't forget, the James Pattersons and the Dan Browns and all those guys, they all have ghostwriters. And who are the ghostwriters?
Yeah.
So never forget that.
Okay, I wanted to
Yes.
comment on the audience thing. I went to a conference one time where one of the speakers said, I was making the point, the size of your audience doesn't matter. And she talked about finding a book, an obscure little book in an obscure little book shop, that absolutely changed her life. And that book might have had 2 readers. And that, I've always remembered that, the size of the audience may not matter. And there's, and Scott Tilley told us last meeting we had at this poetry thing, that the statistics show now that there are more writers than there are readers.
I believe that. I believe that. I believe that.
So it's not going to be easy.
That's right. That's right.
That's appalling.
I believe that. I mean, I think that if it's not true, it's very close.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, but don't forget, we are also readers too.
We're both, right, we're part of that pool.
We're both. Like
I think we're reading our own books is what's happening.
Oh yeah, we have to read our own books. Heck, if you don't read your own book, you're not smart, because you need to read your book from the perspective of your reader and say. And when I read my book, sometimes I go in and I'm like, oh my God! Like first thing was the last one. I was reading and I'm like, crap, there's a mistake. You know. So the little things they escape. It's gonna happen. I mean, I've seen errors in the big guys too. It's not just us.
And I have a question that's
yes.
completely off the topic.
No, it's okay.
I heard, or I thought I read that the winners of the Horizons Poetry Contest were going to be announced today?
No, they're announcing them in April, right?
Say it again?
National Poetry Month.
Oh, it'll be announced
April,
in
yes.
the poetry one. Okay.
Yes, we'll probably have a little thing during the meeting and announce it or something, you know, we'll see. I don't know yet. Yes, sir.
Taking off from what you were saying about how many readers there are to writers, there's another study done that 54% of Americans read at 6th grade or below level. So that speaks to your content, your writing style. How many people do you want to try to hook into what you're writing?
Yes.
When they don't even have a full grade school education?
Sadly, yeah.
So you're saying I'm gonna have to up my craft? 6th grade?
Yes, go ahead.
So a stereo survey is, I used to have to write a lot of government documents. The stereo survey is government documents is supposed to be written to the 8th grade level.
Newspaper stars.
Really? 8th grade.
I work in healthcare, and that's the same thing they tell us. That's
I
very scary.
would run my documents
A little more.
flight gauge analysis.
Yeah.
And if my flight gauge score is anything above an 8th grade level, I had
That's
That's really sad though.
That's a good point, because when we are assigning text to read, particularly in a remedial reading class, which I've taught for 2 years, they have what's called the Lexile score. And that is something that the computers decide based on word choice, length of sentence, and so forth. And typically, major magazines like Time Magazine, Newsweek, things like that, those are around the 8th grade level. But if you give a student a book to read, and it's beyond his level, but you like it, that's where you risk turning off a student. And I have an article taped on my wall, my English teacher destroyed my interest in reading. And so the reading scores go up with self-chosen reading. That is the best way to get students to read. That's why you want to have all books available and let them pick a book that they like to read. And most of the time when that happens, somebody makes fun of them, they say, no, I like this book. I mean, they will defend their choice. And so liking it is something else. But back to your point about from the reader's point of view, I write to authors, I mean, all the time. And every now and then, it just gets more interesting and we stay in touch. And I sent this author a letter one time, and his note back to me was that he shared my letter with his wife, because never had he known from a reader's perspective why his books grabbed readers. And I saw an interview with him years later, and he had said that his books were, to him, the books were like hamburgers. Once he hands it over, he's out of the equation. But he was fascinated enough with my letter quoting him and then making the connection to my life and why I like that line and that story and why it resonated with me. And so that to me was fascinating, knowing, because if he had done more of that, he didn't need to, he sold lots of books, but he could look at that and say, am I marketing, is that my group? Because I'm going to write another book and I'm going to target that group this time.
Right.
Rather than just writing what I like, I'm going to see what the niches do.
Well, that's also another reason why the young adult is so popular, because that focuses on the teens and the high school kids and the early college kids and the late elementary, like grade 7, grade 8, So I think that's why young adult is very popular.
I mean, I'm teaching 9th grade right now, and the discussion in the curriculum is, how does this book connect you to reminding you of another thing you have read? How is the book reminding you of something in your life? And how is this book reminding you of some other movie or play or in your community, things that are happening? Relatable.
Yes, definitely.
And I think that's very important because they connect to that.
For sure.
You're doing this, is this Zoom-wise, right? Through Zoom?
It's not Zoom, it's with a group called Elevate out of Chicago. And so I see the class in one square and I see myself so I can make sure my hair's combed and all that stuff. Then I can blow up the pictures so I can make the class that big so I can see all.
But they're all over the place, or are they?
No, they're all
they're
in
in one class.
The school contacts Elevate and says, we need an English teacher, we need a science or physics teacher, whatever. And so they place the teacher in school with that in that format.
That's amazing. Very good. Now, do you have a curriculum from
Yeah.
school, or do you do your own?
Elevate sets up the curriculum.
Oh, nice.
And I just walk into the classroom. They had 17 substitutes before me.
Oh, wow.
When I walked in that class, they were just grateful that I was going to be there the next day.
Good.
But the point is, they had a curriculum rolling because you could go in and you could see where the previous teacher stopped, and you just pick up from there.
Okay.
So it's an interesting system. Most of their teachers, they've got 1,700 teachers in like 37 states, and most of them come from Texas and Florida.
So if there's any retired teachers out there, I'm talking to the people on Facebook, that might be somewhere to go. What's the name of the website?
It's called Elevate K-12.
Elevate K-12. So
And
anybody who's a
I got
retired
that.
teacher who wants to make a little money, hey, that's a good idea.
And it's part-time.
Part-time.
And they pay the same as Brevard.
There you go.
And please don't assign 17-year-old boys, seniors, to read Pride and Prejudice. This is what my grandson is trying to struggle.
You think they're prejudiced?
Yeah.
Have them watch Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Yeah, maybe change a little bit up. All right, so the third topic that I wanted to cover today was publishing. Okay, so questions are, which publishing company to choose? Amazon or Ingram Spark or traditional? Okay, which format? Right. So are you going to do the ebook? Or are you going to do the paperback? Now Amazon offers hardbacks. Ingram Spark also has the hardcovers with the jack cover. So there's so many formats to choose from. And also, let's not forget, a format also is audiobook. It's another format, very popular format coming out right now. Actually, it's already been out and it's doing really well. The audiobook.
What does it cost to do an audiobook? Does anyone know?
I can tell you that. There's a bunch of ways to do it. You can do a rev share, so if you put a little script out there from your book, and it opens it up, and people that are interested in reading it they'll read it for you.
Yeah, give
Then
you auditions.
Then you share your revenue with them, so it doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
And you can set that up in 20 minutes. It's easier to do that than to publish on Amazon.
Correct.
And it's
That
an
is correct.
Amazon company, so that's
It's
one way.
acx.com.
So after a couple of years of that, then they came out with something called RevShare Plus, before that. You could do that, or you could pay somebody.
Yeah.
And then you got all the royalties. That was gonna cost you a couple $1,000.
Yes.
And no guarantee that you're gonna, a friend of mine has done that several times with someone that was like actors on Broadway. And he thought, I got a maid, I got a built-in audience, so I was not, I sold just more than he did. So he never got his money back. But that's another way, if you want all the revenue. And then after a couple of years of just RevShare, they came out with RevShare Plus, where these people will say, yeah, we will read your book, we'll take half your revenues, and then you're gonna have to pay me $500 more or whatever to do that.
Yeah.
When it got to that point, I said, nah, I'm doing my own, so I'm doing my own.
So how's it
that's
working?
Just my books, and I thought, like, don't do your own covers. I'm like, I'm an idiot. Don't read your own book. I look at my reviews, no difference. The sales are no difference.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter to me, for me. And I'm not a narrator, believe me, as you know. Anyway, but it's a lot of work. And it took me 100 hours of YouTube to figure out how to do it. Because they're very particular. You have to meet these numbers on your voice thing, and you need equipment and all that.
So I do the share, not the one with plus, but just the regular one. So I have now, I think 6 or 7 books published on audio right now. So for my Melbourne connection, I found an Aussie, because my Melbourne connection is Melbourne, Florida, and Australia. So I found an Aussie who narrates it, and he, fantastic. Just, I so lucked out with this guy, just amazing. And then I got a Brit to do my Spanish doll, because their Spanish doll takes place in Italy and Spain. So somebody from England is perfect with that perfect, nice little accent. I love it. I come out really good. Then I found this actor. He's like a secondary kind of actor. He's worked with like the big guys, and I recognize his voice. I just can't place him anywhere in any show, but I recognize his voice, and his name is something Winter. Yeah. He did. No. His name is Ty or something Winter, and he did the Devil of St. Gabriel. He did a great job.
And when you say did a great job, the book sells?
Yeah, it sells pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I like it. I mean, it's still not as much as I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you, but it sells okay, and it does good. So, but anyway, and I did the Christmas in Venice. I did it by myself because I had a person who helped me who's got the whole setup gig thing, and that one is not doing that great. But I kind of agree with you on that one. Maybe not doing your own. But I had to do it my own because there's certain phrases in there that are in Italian, and you have to have somebody who knows how to pronounce Italian. Even there's even some phrases that are Venetian, and you have to have someone who. So either way, it worked out. It's okay. So I'm selling books that way too, but not as many as I'd like. So I'm not going to lie, but still something to consider when you're publishing.
It's another revenue stream.
Another revenue stream. Sure.
So when COVID hit, and I was selling more audiobooks than I was selling ebooks. When COVID hit, and I've got, you get different checks from go to the bank account. I'm looking, all of a sudden, I was making $600 to $800 a month on my audiobooks. From like $30 and $60. It went to $600 to $800.
Yes.
And I'm like,
can we help you?
What the heck is this?
Come in.
It was COVID.
No, we're the Space Coast Writers Guild.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And I mean, that was a happy surprise. It didn't last, but.
Well, and probably I kind of published all my audiobooks this year. So I think I kind of got into the market a little bit late, my guess would be. So, but either way, it's an extra stream of income. So, again, I'm obviously not going to stop working yet. But, hey, for me, I think of it as a hobby. I think of it as giving people something to read, and if they like it. And I get people who come back to me when they buy my books, even Jay, he gets a lot of people who come back and get his, well, I want the third one, I want the fourth one. He writes in series. That's another smart thing to do, is to write, if you got like a big, huge brick book, divide it into a series, guys. And I promise you, he's got people who come back again and again. Oh, I want book number 2. I want book number 3. I promise you, and he does really well.
Does anybody here do like the rapid release where you write them all and then like, publish them every, like, 3 months or 6 months, so that they're all one after another. I was hearing about that on, the Facebook group.
Yeah.
20 books to 50K?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they talk about doing that. I don't think I could stand to do that, but I'm just wondering.
I mean,
You'd have to have one of those series that, like,
I'd have to wait 3 years, because it takes me about a year to do it. I'd have to wait,
Yeah.
I'd have
That's
to
my
wait
thing,
3
too.
years, and I'm like, I wanna give birth to this thing.
Yeah.
Kristen Painter recommends doing that.
yes, yes. We had her as a speaker once.
I think it depends on the genre too. Like
Yes.
nonfiction, where you're researching, you know, the facts are there, you're gonna put it together, but like romance where you're writing your story and it's almost developing outside of yourself.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's as easy to knock out. It's a little, knocking something out, it's almost like the scribe is at work, not the
I don't know
muse.
how they do that.
Like,
Not that fast.
I love to read those writing problems. Well, I don't, because they make mistakes. But like some will say, you know, I'm gonna do much better this year. I wrote 22 books last year, and I gotta get to 35 this
That's
year.
what I'm talking
like,
about. That's insane.
What? Well, if you look at some of those, their books are 6,000 words.
Yeah, they're little thin.
Or 3,000 words.
Right. With the
So-
whole cover.
So if you do that, you could easily do that rapid release.
It would be a midterm
Also-
essay.
Huh?
That used to be a midterm
I
essay.
know, I know. But you know, it's probably smart because nobody's got an attention span now.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, maybe that is a good
And
idea.
a friend of mine writes these giant fantasy books.
Bricks,
They're
the bricks, yeah.
She can write. I mean, she can write.
Yeah, she
But if
is.
you go to buy a paperback on Amazon, it's going to be $32, and nobody knows her. Who's going to spend $32 on a book that nobody's ever heard of, even though it would be worth it?
Have you advised her to split them up and write
Yeah,
little
no,
books?
she-
Tell her write little 10,000 word books.
Yeah, yeah.
She would never do that.
No.
Who is this person?
MJ.
Oh, MJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she can write.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But-
I'm writing a creative nonfiction now, but I'm also writing a poetry book. I'm doing them simultaneously because they're requiring different parts of me, but the poetry book has been ongoing for about 18 months. It just so happens that it's finished. So when I'm finishing, the one that I'm finishing now, which is coming to its end, thank God, it just so happens that my next one is going to be published within 3 months. But I didn't set out to do that. And I think, thinking about setting out to do that, I don't think I'd be able to knock it out.
Yeah, I have a nonfiction that's my work related, which is healthcare technology stuff. That one's gonna be done soon. And then my other novel, my next one will be right after it.
Right.
And for me, I'm cross-pollinating because a lot of my healthcare people, like I got 19,000 connections on LinkedIn. My healthcare people like this kind of stuff because
Right.
it's fiction, but it's set in that same world.
Right.
So I'm working on cross-pollinating with
Right.
the
Well, that's-
fiction and the
right.
nonfiction.
Well, that's good, that's
So
good.
how did you happen to get James Patterson's cover because it was on your?
I found him on Reedsy.
Really?
Found them on where?
Reads, yeah, that's a good website.
Yeah.
There's a lot of book covers,
What's
cover
it called?
makers, Readsy.
Reedsy, R-E-E-D-S-Y.
Okay.
You can find any kind of service there.
Yeah.
And
I was
I've
gonna-
Yeah,
had
editing
fabulous editors
services,
there too.
proofreading,
I was using
cover.
Fiverr.
Yeah, that is a really good website, and they're not very expensive. And actually, some of them you can kind of choose.
You can send out your bid and get
Yeah.
like up to 5,
Yeah.
and then you can really evaluate their reviews, and I found great editors there too.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yes, fabulous.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what, that sparks an idea in my mind. You've got some sources that you go to. I've never heard of Reedsy. You've got
Yes.
some sources, why don't you all send your sources to
I
me?
would love that.
And I'll post them. I'll put them on the
Because I do some
website.
formatting people.
I want this
that kind of
website
stuff.
to be, number one, the
Research.
guild's go-to site for, I need information. I want
Right,
to find out
yeah.
and go to the website,
That would
and
be
I'll
great.
set up a page for, I've already got a resources, but I can juggle that around too, so.
This actually brings us now to marketing.
Let me just hit.
Yes.
This is what they say. An effective book cover design doesn't have to look good on shelves. It should clearly communicate the title, signal the genre, capture an appropriate audience for that book. In other words, design is crucial to your book's aesthetics and sale, and definitely not something to phone in as an author.
That's right, that's exactly.
That
right.
reads.
Don't forget we're visual people.
Yes,
So when you walk in the bookstore.
First thing you notice.
that's right,
It's a visual attraction.
yes.
So it's got to be good.
And here's a perfect example. One day, a few Cocoa Village festivals ago, this one lady, she was, because we are set up, and I'm pretty sure next year we're gonna probably be in the same spot. We've been there for like 3 years now, right? Pretty much. So we were set up pretty much where Ryan's Pizza, you guys know Cocoa Village, how it's set up. But Ryan's Pizza was kind of like in that area there, right? Pretty much next to the river.
And we eat a lot of pizzas now.
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
Oh, no, their stuff is good. Anyway, let's not. So there was this one lady who was coming in, and she was a younger lady. She was coming in with her husband, I think, or her dog, whatever. She came right up to our stand, and she picked up the Devil of St. Gabriel, and she turned it over and read the thing. She goes, "I want this book." Okay, so I'm like, she goes, I said, "So what?" I kind of asked her, I'm like, because I saw her came directly to me. I was stunned, and she goes, "The cover just, it was like a magnet." So there you go. There you go.
When I bought my first Cormac McCarthy book, I was in the airport flying to Seattle, I think. And here's this blazing red cover.
Yeah.
And I said, this has got to be the biggest loss ever, or this guy's got a lot of cojones to make a cover like that that's not going to be a fantastic book, and it was a fantastic book. No Country for Old Men.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So marketing is by far the most difficult part of any book adventure for me. I mean, some people do ads, some people do, Facebook. I create my own memes using BookBrush. I love BookBrush for that. And they also have videos, and then I also use another website called Pixabay.com. Pixabay has free pictures, and they have free videos. So if you kind of know how to put together videos, you can do.
Unsplash is another one out there.
Unsplash, yeah.
Unsplash.
Yep.
They have really good photos and videos.
What is it called?
Unsplash.
So, and I also have.
Send me that one, because I'll forget.
I have a guy who does my book trailers. Now, every time I release a book, I always release book trailer, the excerpt. I always give people the little on my website, and they're still there. So the guy who does my book trailers are called. They're just like a movie trailer, but it just focuses on
30 seconds, 40
few
seconds,
things, a little bit
minute.
from the blurb.
What
Perfect.
does it show?
It shows your cover. It shows. Let me show you.
You could show scenes
show
that
you
are
one.
taking place in the book.
But if you just have some,
For
We'll
her
talk about it. There's a
romance.
little bit of the blurb. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Am I?
I guess I just can't visualize that,
Yeah.
like how you turn a book into a video, absent actors and whatever.
Let me show you. I'll show you right now. I'll show you.
Well,
the
now's
one
when we
that's my
need the,
favorite.
now's when we need the TV screen.
I know, right? Well, it's okay.
Well, I asked
I'll
you.
show her. There's a few have reached.
Because that's something I know I need to do, is start getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
And she's got them on her website, too.
That sounds a little better
Not
than
at all
I'll show
comfortable
you.
with
Yeah, trailers. Okay. So this is my favorite. This is her Spanish doll. This is by far my favorite one. It's always been, and I can do all of them. This is my favorite.
Now, do you make these?
This is from the blurb.
A guy, he knows.
Yeah, his name is. Well, his company name is. Did I not just forget?
We'll put it on the
Put that on the
website.
website.
We'll put it on the website.
So what's it run to do a video like this?
So he just makes
$30.
trailers.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Yes.
That's hard to believe.
No.
I was thinking
I was
hundreds
told-
and hundreds.
Is that one of the ones that I twiddled?
Yeah, you twiddled with this one too, but but mainly the stuff is his.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that nice? That's great. I love it.
If If you pay for BookBrush, they have a plan where you can do videos.
Yeah, you
on there,
can,
too.
yeah, they can help you.
That movie, Holiday with Cameron Diaz,
Yeah.
she makes trailers.
Right.
So here's my Christmas
Really?
in, where's my
Yeah,
Christmas in
funny.
Milan?
Movie trailer.
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
in
yeah.
Rome, Melbourne Connection. Where's Christmas in Milan?
I don't know.
Got it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you need to talk about your cover lady too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so, again, covers, we're going back to Christmas in Milan. Let's see. Trailer, here we go. This is my latest one. I'll show everybody. It's a general Christmas song. Where did they get all the footage from? They get it from those free websites. You can get videos and you put them all together and you put your book in there and you put a little blurb and
The
you're
right kind of jingle.
exactly, right kind of jingle. You gotta be careful with the music though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But they have music too.
But the music makes it. We're gonna have suspense music or romance music.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would
It's
be that
Christmas in
hard.
Milan. So it's a Christmas music. It's gonna be Christmas. There you go. That's it.
Okay.
Is that trailer available on your website?
His name is,
No, the trailer itself.
yes,
Yes.
all my trailer. So when you go on my website, it obviously, so now I separated them out. I have my Christmas in on a new tab because
Right.
I've already written 4 of them, so I've separated them out. So my major novels are gonna be on my homepage. And then I have my Christmas in novels, or novellas. And then I have my Traveling Boomers one, because we just came back from, so now I'm gonna be writing a Traveling Boomers one, the Traveling Boomers next, what's it called? Next Stop?
Next Stop,
Spain and Canary Islands or something.
Yeah, Spain and the Canaries, something like that.
So I'm gonna be publishing that one. So that's gonna go on my Traveling Boomers one. Because I don't know if you guys follow my page, but when we went to Spain and Canary Islands, we took a bunch of videos, like all over the place. And we posted it on Facebook. And people were like, oh my God, they just eat them up. It's just great. So, and then they're gonna be on my website too, so, yeah. For me, this works, because people get to know me.
This is
and-
way cool. I love this.
Yeah.
How are
And
you
these
using
are-
your website to sell books? I'm just wondering, because all I have is my author page on Amazon.
I noticed that when I do the festivals, and a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I like the Kindle. I'm like, oh yeah, here's my card, go on my website. I noticed my sales kind of go up a little bit, you know, so, and then they kind of go down. So, but it works. It works okay. Again, I don't sell, you know, until I be able to make a living out of it. But I'm happy, you know, I'm happy. I just,
Well, it's an extension of your business card, and
it is
people like to go to your website to read more about you.
correct.
You know, it's not necessarily selling, although you can have a shop page on your website, and you can purchase directly through your website, or you can link to Amazon from your website or
Yeah,
a number of
that's
things.
what I do. I link to Amazon.
But people do like to, when they like you, or they're even a little interested, it's just another place for people to go to read about you, read about your
Right.
books. Your blurb could be a little longer on your website.
Yes.
It's just another way to connect.
So on my website, I have, so right now I have like Christmas in Milan is in the Christmas in page. So basically what I have my book cover. That if you click on my book cover, it takes you to Amazon. Another click, you bought the ebook. That's how she's. And she also, Robin McDonald is Macro Designs. She does my website, and she also does all my covers. And she is amazing. She's
love that one.
very affordable. Yes.
Yeah.
She's going to be speaking in March. I have her speaking coming as a
She's a good speaker.
yes, I cover. She's very bubbly. She's very knowledgeable. I mean, she's been working in marketing pretty much all her life. So she's been all through all the phases of, you know, like in the beginning, and you know, when the internet first came out, you know, yada yada. So she's done a few of the guild covers. So she's done Change, she's done Survival, and she's done Hope. I don't know if you guys notice Hope in the back is really gorgeous with the dove and with the writing. It's just, she did a great job. She did all my books, all of them, and she's done a few other authors, because I've, you know, referred her obviously. But she's another one, she's like him, you know, not him, like your guy, whereas I say I have an idea. So Christmas in Milan is basically about the cutthroat world of fashion shows, you know, Italian, whatever. So it's a woman who's showing a green dress, you know, who's on the catwalk and all that. And it's in Milan because you can tell they're in the gallery in Milan, the Galleria. and there's the boy who's the guy who's looking at her and all this other stuff. So, I mean, but this is what I wanted. I'm like, I need her to be on the catwalk. I need him to be looking at her and all that. So she did it this way. And it's a little different because it shows her back. Either way, it's just what I saw. I'm like,
But don't you think, like, the highlight of my books is when I get that damn cover? Because I don't know what he's going to do. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and then I kind of have to nudge him every now and then.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I get the email, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's it. And it's like Christmas.
oh, it
It's
is.
like,
Yeah.
it's so much
Oh, yeah.
fun.
Oh,
It
it
makes
is.
it all worthwhile. All those editing hours when you want to kill somebody, once you get that cover, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
I told my guy what I wanted, but
Yeah.
he's the one that made it
Right.
real.
Yeah.
But that is.
Yeah.
And why did we get so excited? Because she has a great cover. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Everybody
It's
says
like
that
a
when they
reader.
see it.
See?
Yeah.
Everybody says
That's
that.
why the covers are so important. Yes, sir.
I got a question. When, this might be, how many people have written books here that have pictures in it too? Is it sell more when you have pictures in it? I know
Well-
it complicates things
I
with
think it
it.
depends on the genre.
It depends on the genre. Now, when you do a nonfiction, so my travel and bloomer books, they're nonfiction. They're like travel guides. So I have pictures in there because I show people how to pack your clothes so you can save space and put more stuff in and blah, blah, blah. I give a lot of people a lot of tips for travel. So yeah, there's pictures in there.
Yeah, it's not meant like,
And our
Novels.
anthologies, all the anthologies have the cover, the pictures of the authors, of the writers.
right.
So there's pictures in there. So you have to format them.
It's not fun.
Oh, it's not fun.
It's not. I
Ew.
I
Very
know.
tedious, but you know, in the end, you have a really, it looks really
Yeah, and
good.
all those pictures, they make it very complicated.
Yes, they do.
You bet, yeah.
Okay, I would just like to comment on that subject. In my book, I have 52 illustrations.
Mhm.
My friend did, on my request,
Okay.
pen and ink, just line illustrations.
Are they color? Color?
No, just black and white.
Black and white, okay.
Okay, but we learned a lot because she's a good artist, but
Yeah.
not really an illustrator, and then we
Yes.
learned why some of them she used to work on paper, so they feel kind of grayish.
Yeah.
But they turned out okay because I used a book formatter named Melinda Martin, and she is brilliant, and she made them all look like old timey postcards, which worked out
Oh,
perfectly.
that's nice.
Did your
and-
followers like that? Did they like that better than?
Well, I think so, because mine is a young adult equestrian fiction. Now, unless they pick up the book and look at it, they're probably not gonna know that they're illustration, it says illustrated by. But, younger kids, maybe like the 10, 12, 13-year-olds, when they look at it, they love that, and some of the older people like it too.
Yeah.
And they just kind of highlight the funny moments in the book. But I ended up with Melinda Martin, which it turned out to be a lifesaver. But I had a couple of book formatters say, oh, we can only do 10 illustrations. I'm like, well, I'm not. And I thought about it, oh, do I just want to get rid of all these other? I'm
Well,
like,
the
no,
only reason
gonna
I'm
find
saying that
somebody
is
who can do
because
it.
that's an easy way to accommodate attention span. So if you come out with a 300, 400 page book, and your audience, it's not going to sit down and read a page to page. If you put etchings or black and whites in there, that takes them to a chapter or something.
Right, it's a good ending spot, yeah,
Yeah.
it sort of highlights that story and.
Yeah. But normally, a regular novel does not have pictures. But unless it's like, if they put a map in there of something, or I don't know. But normally, no. Like 90%, I think I would say about 90% of all novels, regular novels, whatever genre they are, especially fiction, they don't have pictures. But then there's a whole world of children's books, which goes by ages and all that. So. I have an idea for a children's book, but I got to get with a good children's book author because I have no clue how to do it. So I'm going to get with Taylor Friedman or something, and
I have two ones, all the dogs I've loved before. Went through my pictures, and they're fairly easy to transfer into the narrative and in color. And the other one is Travels with Nenny and Xander. That's my husband's name and my grandson. And he had graphic arts of all kinds, and TV production and all that. So he did some of the drawings, the color illustrations. They're really nice. And then combined with photographs on the trips that we took, and that's nonfiction too. So I didn't think that it was any harder to do that, and it was a whole lot more fun.
Oh, that's good. Well, there you go.
Some of the stuff I've written.
So when you do when you have colored pictures in the book, how does that equate to what it costs you to buy?
It does. It ups the price a bit. I think this one is about this thick, travels with Nenny and Xander, and it's got a lot of color illustrations. There's one price for the color, whether you put one picture or 20. And I don't know what I bought it and buy it for, but I was selling for about $15, so it's probably about $9 or something.
It's not bad.
But yeah, it's worth it.
That's good. All right, so that's continuing on marketing. So what social media platforms do you guys use? To meme or not to meme? Because I like to meme a lot. I do them, I create them, I come up
Now
with
you put
these.
those on Facebook?
Yes.
And people respond?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I get a lot of, and Instagram and Twitter. So I have 3.
How do you differentiate them from an ad, which who you know?
The ad is, so what I do, the meme is just a post, okay?
Oh,
so
okay.
an ad is one thing where you gotta pay,
Yeah.
and they have certain rules, the way you have to do them. But a meme is just basically, it goes by size, whether it's so I have different memes based on if they're for Twitter or if they're for Facebook. Twitter obviously has the contents, the verbiage has to be a certain amount of characters, obviously, so I keep my verbiage pretty much the same. So for Facebook and for Twitter and for Instagram.
You can also put some words in the picture itself,
Yes, and you put words
and
in
that
the picture
doesn't count
itself.
against your word count.
So
It works. It works.
yes, it
When you
works.
do I go through stages where I do it, and I go through stages where I don't do it. And
Yeah.
if I do it, it's something.
I always do it, and you know, Facebook gives you a good, Twitter doesn't do that much, but Facebook does give you a good of who opened it up and who looked at it, who liked it, and all that, so who shared it, yada yada. I always put, in my verbiage, I always put the bit.ly link, so the bit.ly links, because Twitter has a character limitation, bit.ly links are good because they're short, right? So I have every single book that I have has its own bit.ly link. So they click the bit.ly link, it takes them straight to Amazon. Okay? Or I have a bit.ly link for my website. So you click on the bit.ly link and it takes you to my website. Depending on what I want to, like if I just say like a general Merry Christmas from Joanne's Books, then I'll put my website on there because I want you to visit my website, and then you go there. But if I'm talking about, like, for example, I'll say, give them history for Christmas. So I will put a cover, either a cover of my 2 historicals, one or the other. And then I'll put the bit.ly link of either Magnolia or Good Things. So it takes them straight to Amazon and they buy it. These are all, that's what's, for me, part of a meme.
And Facebook doesn't call that an ad?
No, no, you have to pay for an ad.
Okay.
And
You
when
can
you,
post all day.
correct. And an ad will go on like all the time, and it's kind of costly. I find for me ads don't work very well. I've tried them, and I've taken lessons on them and how to do them and et cetera, et cetera. I know how to do them, even Amazon, but for me, they don't seem to work.
What you want to do is, especially for you, find groups on Facebook. Like
That's
Force
right.
Group.
Yes.
And that works.
Like
There's not-
hashtag?
Huh?
The hashtags?
No, the groups,
No,
the Facebook groups.
Oh, the group. So like,
Like by genre
a
and
lot of
Groups on Facebook. So I've got a whole bunch of, if I come up with a new book, with another mission, I'll go to everyone, and I try not to, they don't want to see a lot of it. Once a year. Yeah, you gotta be careful. But I'll put it on there, and you will not believe it. Oh my God. It really works.
You have to be careful, however, but you have a day.
Yeah.
But every Wednesday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
but you can't do it the other days when
Or you can go on horses, you know, all the website, there's so many Facebook websites on horses. It says horse. So,
And if you like, for instance, with equestrian, if you go to a group of equestrian, you could just write to the administrator. I know you don't normally, just be open, you don't have these ideas. I think they would like it. I'm telling them, you know, it can't hurt, you know, it can't hurt.
Website.
Isn't it like the 11th or 12th or something? Secretary.
It's funny when you do those things. We had a table at the local village craft 3 times a year for how many years? Like 6. Yeah. And you sit there, and there'd be 1,000 people to walk by. You kind of talk a little bit. And then there'd be a person that saw books and saw local authors, and they would come right over. I want to buy a book. I want to support you. I mean, it was one out of the house, but it was at the end of the day, it was done. Because I had series. That's what we're talking about. That sells. My numbers were after these. I would sell 30 books. That wasn't bad. And then what your hope is that now they bought a couple of books, they're going to buy some more. But they get home on Amazon. So it's worth it. You sit there, most of these people, they don't want one book. Not usually.
I did have a few return customers, and I didn't have a series for them. They just want to know what I next. And
it's more fun, like every 3, sometimes 3 or 4 of us, which made it fun because we'd be talking. If you're sitting there by yourself, rubbing your fingers, waiting for the customer. Yeah.
and one lady bought a book, and they came back and bought several copies. That was cool. That's cool. So now I've got more than one writer out there.
I get invited to book clubs too. There's a lot of book clubs. You know, they're like, oh, can I? I'm like, I'll come to your book club. I'll share, you know, as long as you do it on the weekends, because you know, I work in the week, but I'll come. Or in the evening, you know. So always be open. Always be open. Always don't forget to give your card. You know, have another marketing strategy is. He does very well. Is here, take my card. Take my card. You know, take my bookmark. He's got some really cool bookmarks, by the way. I like his. But yeah, that's why I did bookmarks for the guild. I did the cards. You know, always you do banners. Banners are not expensive. Not that banner there, but the ones that I have. When I have like 3 different banners, and I only paid $60 each one. And you can put them together and. Banners on the go, I think it's called .com or something like that. Anyway, I can have that.
Mr. Print does all that stuff.
Mr. Print, yeah, but they're not expensive at all. They're not expensive. Correct. Yes, I think it's banners on the go or something like that .com. But yeah, Mr. Print is a good one. Yeah, banners are not expensive, and you can pick your pictures. You can put like your picture and your logo or your book covers or whatever. I mean, you can even the bookmarks. They're like little banners. You know, if you think about it. So they're They're really, and their websites are so easy to navigate. I find them very easy. So, oh, there you go. See? Look at that. See? You put your picture.
I got
And then your other one, yeah.
Can you show that to the camera?
Nice. Very good. That's the way it should be. That's good. There you go. And the current one is one of those, I can QR codes.
I think you can make them in Word. I think you can make them in Word now. Huh? Well, we will do a class on it. They're really, Jim, I think Word will make them now. I think Microsoft Word will make them. I think. You know what? We'll get a presentation up for those. It won't be a long one because it's, you know.
QR codes are cool because I have actually all my books in the QR code. They look like little business cards. I made them myself. I got the QR code, I think, on their website. And then I put the cover of my book
Regina,
on the website.
do you still have that banner up?
And then they
Can you?
the QR code and it takes you straight to Amazon. They love it. They're like, oh.
My list is getting really long.
Yes. That's why I think these Q&As are very, very important to do once in a while. Like, yes, speakers are fantastic and they're great. But Q&As are good because we have a lot of people here, a lot of members who are fairly seasoned. And so they can help out the newbie who, you know, like you just have one book out. Even though I think that seasoned people learn from then you are these two together, it's just too like it goes both ways. And it's very, that's why I love this book. Well, I can't get enough of it. Yes, I agree. It's true. Yes, I agree. Very good friends too. So anyway, so yeah. So any other questions that anybody has that wants to, you know, take a stop back and see if we can get an answer for? I wish. If we have been at the
Hemingway's.
We should. We could do meetings too. We could make their stuff.
Yeah, sure. I think we'll do a big one next year. Yeah. I've been there. Yeah. Oh, shit. I have to do a little branch out there.
That might be something the new president can do. Hmm? That might be something the new president can do. Take care, Nick. Thanks for coming.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
So speaking of meetings, I'm going to show you one that I've been for the field last year. So it says, ho, 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 the magic of reading. Magic of Christmas, magic of reading. And then the website right there. So I would put that on Facebook with a little blurb that says something like, you know, books, give books for Christmas, or books are the greatest gifts. Is that on your website right now? No, this is just in the, yes. I've never used Canva, so okay. I don't know. I like the first because it's $100 a year. Your basic package. I mean, there's different packages, obviously. Right. But just with the basic, they have like these posts that are like ready for you, format size for Twitter, format size for Facebook, Instagram. It's very good and they're easy to use. plug, you just choose, plug it in. Okay. And then you can size it, you can. They have photos in there. Oh, yeah, they have pictures.
I was just asking how BookBrush compares to Canva.
I always do Canva. And I love Canva as much as you can.
Canva, I have to have BookBrush.
Exactly.
I think, I don't know, I think,
There's a free
12
version.
a month.
Oh, basic stuff, yeah.
There's a free one, but for our purposes, that's not worth it. For me, it's not worth it. And to buy every single thing that is on the pros, and I very rarely don't use anything that's not on the pros.
Yeah.
But I only pay $12. I could, if I pay yearly, would be cheaper. I pay $12 a month. But I use Canva. I'm on it every day, using it for something. Everything that she just said there. You can do blue covers there. You can do both trailers there. You can do you can do your business cards. You can do book cards, postcard. I mean, the whole thing.
CANVA.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's whatever you get used to, and you know.
But I noticed that BookBrush uses the same pictures as.
Yeah, they sell Canva.
Yeah. Because they're free images. Yeah. So why not?
But I've been using the videos to make them little things.
Yes. Oh, of course, yes. Well, that's all, yes. And I was in TikTok. No. I already have three social medias. I mean, everybody, if you guys want to, by all means, you want to go TikTok or what's the other one? There's a whole bunch of other ones. Well, Instagram, I'm on Instagram, but I don't use Instagram the way probably I should be using it. But I like Facebook because what they do is when I create a post, when I do scheduled posts, because I sit there on Sunday afternoon for an hour, and I have all my meetings, like all my verbiage already, so I copy and paste and put my picture in, and I schedule the day and the time meeting, so I'm done. So I do that for about an hour and a half, depending on, and so for me, it's, but Facebook, they allow you to do Facebook and Instagram together. So when you post on Facebook, you post on Instagram. So that's, I used to have to do all three, separate them, and now they put it together, which is fantastic. Do schedules, schedule posts. I go on Facebook, it's Meta, commercial. What's it called? Meta.
There's one of those three dots in the corner.
Meta business, I think you're right. Yeah. So it's with my Joanne's Books page. So it posts on my Joanne's Books, but it also, but anybody who's on my Joanne's Books will see my posts on Joanne Fisher, my other one, my personal one. So, you know, I forget that I have a mouse. Yeah, I have a mouse. Look at Sweet. Yeah.
It used to be like 35 free ones. Now it's like 5.
So I use that with my first book. I'll just
Yeah, no, I think they have other platforms if you.
So it's called Facebook Ad Man. And all the emojis, I think there's so much Oh, no, this is my Google, like, this is my phone. But this is my desktop right here. My desktop. Oh, my desktop. And then what I have on my desktop, this is what they use as all my meetings full. Like I use my own pictures, and I use my own. You can do that on Windows. You can have them scroll all your own pictures. You know, they used to have what do they call those things? The
Slideshows?
Slideshows, but Microsoft used to do it. Remember, they used to have the Microsoft ones, and now you can pick your own pictures and everything.
Really PowerPoint that you turn into a slideshow.
No, all these. So my meetings, when I save my meetings, I create them. Some of them I create them on BookBrush, and I just save them to my computer. Some of them I have to use PowerPoint still because there's things that BookBrush I just don't get or it doesn't allow me to do or whatever. or I can use my own picture. If I take my own pictures, you can upload them on Brush. It's pretty cool. But I like to use PowerPoint because I'm not to brag, but I'm really good at PowerPoint. So, anyway, so PowerPoint, then I'll take a print shot of the PowerPoint and then I save it as a JPEG, and then that goes on Facebook. So it's already ready. So these are all like pictures. These are all pictures. They're all JPEGs. That's what I do. So.
I'll tell you, PowerPoint, if you get friendly with PowerPoint, you can, remember when I used to do the bulletin and print it out? I did that in PowerPoint. And somehow I got hooked onto being the editor of the newsletter for the Ham Radio Club. And so I use PowerPoint for the editor. Like PowerPoint's like amazing. You know, it does more than slideshows. Yeah, they are. Yes.
But if you have a Mac, I know there's a version of the PowerPoint.
Yeah, you can either use, Microsoft has a version, or I know there's Apple equivalent.
Yeah. So he's going to go on. Again, we're still trying to play catch up because, like I said, I got back from the vacation. I went to work for a week. I was fine, and then my boss was sick, so he got me sick. Thank you very much. So that took me behind, and now my son is visiting. So we're trying to get stuff to do with him.
She got me sick, not real bad, but I caught it. Yeah.
So he hasn't been go on the website, but I'm going to get the one crowd in and go on that.
I'm not going to comment.
So anyway, all right. So everybody, Merry Christmas, and we will see you next year. Say bye, Facebook.